Hi there, another beautiful Saturday morning here. My name is Benedict Owusu. Always a pleasure joining you on this platform. This is MX24 and the program is Playmakers. From now till the hour of 9, huge crowd to bid farewell to Diego Maradona as Argentine legend is laid to rest. And also as Asamoah Miss Ghana Premier League returned to Legon City's goalless draw with Mediama SC last night. In English Premier League, we'll look at the game involving Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs genuine title contenders? That's the question we'll be asking our pundits here in the studio. Also, Liverpool will be looking to bounce back to winning ways following their defeat to Atalanta in the UEFA Champions League in the course of the week. This and many more coming up here on the show in the next 60 minutes. And of course, the show as always is interactive, so you can get through to us on our WhatsApp line, which is 0592 89001 0592 89001. My name is Benedict Owusu. This is MX24 in his Playmakers. We are back with more after this break. Don't go away. Well, thanks so much for staying in the studio on Playmakers. We are running from now until the hour of 9, as I made mention earlier in the show. As always, it's interactive, so get through to us on our WhatsApp number, which is 0592 896 001. 0592 896 001. We start here from the local scene, and you know it is match day 3 of the Ghana Premier League. Already one game done at the Accra Stadium last night. It was Legon Cities that came up against Mediama SC. Well, coming into this game, both teams have not won any game yet. Legon Cities drew their first game, second as well. Mediama SC did same, drew their very first game and went away to lose to Dreams FC by 2-1. So they were hoping to clinch their very first 3 points of the season, same as Legon Cities, but that didn't happen as they drew at the Accra Stadium. The highlight of the game was Asamoah making his debut for Legon Cities in the Ghana Premier League, and of course making a return to Ghana after 17 years. Enjoy highlights of the game.
Right-hand side of Cities' attack. He takes an in-swing and that is close. Good save by Oforienchi. Magnificent save. That was heading to...
He deceived, but everybody's looking for the cross, but he's trying to tap the goalkeeper into his near post.
It looks like it's Kwakwa. Kwakwa goes for it against the side post. Good play. That was some technique from...
And that was a lovely free kick there. Did everything right and got it over the wall, but just couldn't beat the post then. Beat the goalkeeper, but saved by the woodwork. The other knows he was beat.
Nathaniel! Good save for Tau again. Second time asking, second time being denied. Fatau is Forenchi with that free kick, with that save.
Yeah, it's a carbon copy of what we saw earlier in the game.
Good save of Forenchi.
Yeah, asking the same questions of Forenchi and it's giving him the same answers. Trying.
Nafiu. Aqua. Brahima. This can be the first goal for Cities. Atukwe fluffs it. My goodness, finally it's cleared away by...
Threw himself across it, gave it everything. And this one, Baba Mahama on target this time by Ofori and hand to make a save. And finally cleared. But this one here was a certain goal. What a block this is. Amazing block.
Patrick also did well to get it away. And Oforienchi scored full marks with that
Oforienchi save.
Sefas Doku. Sefas. Is it a penalty? Good tackle. Sefas Doku. Sefas. Is it a penalty? Good tackle.
Not sure what the referee has given here, but it says it seems it's pointing to
that
a goal kick. But this is it got something.
Africa's all-time World Cup scorer. The boss free kick. Nobody to do the connection from Mediama. And the nearlities are fluffing them.
Yeah, again, poor defending there by Legon Cities. The ball ricochets and nobody really knows where the ball is. Nobody dealing with it.
Goalless at the Accra Stadium. The mauve and yellow against the Royals. Akabi goes past Suleiman, brought down, no penalty.
He had his hand across him. There it is. The hand is across him outside the box, and in the box, it's almost always bearing down on him. It's almost always bearing down.
Sit from Brahima. Good play from John. Nutmeg justice play. Sends a through pass to Sefas Doku. Safe pass with a shot across. Jonah Tukwe.
Lovely bit of play there by Asamoah Gyan right there. Right through the legs there, Asamoah Gyan. And take a look at this, the vision to pick the pass to the far side and ask for runners. And that one, the lovely cutback as well, but nobody.
So that was former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan making his debut for Legon Cities in that game against Mediamerisi Ali Accra Stadium. He came on in the 71st minute and dazzled, as we know of the Baby Jets. And of course, these are signs of good things to come in the Ghana Premier League. So joining me in our Premier League corner to do more on that game yesterday, as well as a build-up to what to expect this weekend here in the Ghana Premier League, as well as Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Ashanti Gold's respective assignment in the CAF Confederation Cup, is my brother and friend James Soa. James, thanks so much for joining me this morning. I hope you're good.
Yes, I'm doing good, Benedict.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, let's start from the Legon Cities Mediamerisi game at the Accra Stadium yesterday. How was it for you when you saw Asamoah Gyan finally make his debut in the Ghana Premier League?
Well, personally, it was a nostalgic moment. I've yearned for such moments in our Ghana Premier League where it's really sad that at this point in time, due to COVID, fans were unable to watch one of their stars. We all know the pedigree at which Asamoah Gyan comes with, not just for Africa, but in terms of world football. He's seen it all, he's done it all. So I think the main focus for Legon Cities was to bring some glitz to their club, was to be able to jump on the Baby Jets franchise. But it's rather unfortunate that due to COVID, they are unable to get the needed marketing support and brand that Baby Jets name comes with. Seeing him come in for the last 20 minutes of the game, yes, as the coach rightly said, or the interim coach rightly said, after the post-match, he indicated that it will take time to come to full fitness. But the little that we saw was just awesome. His movement off the ball, his touches, that was just, the way he was able to rally the boys around the place. I think he will come handy, just that he was unable to get the services that he needed. But early days, yes, we'll be able to see Asamoah Gyan battle it with the likes of Yaya Mohammed for the Golden Boot if he is able to get the needed services. And with the appointment of Coach Bash, I see that happening.
So as you mentioned, if not for COVID, just imagine if we had, fans in the stadium, it would have been something else watching Asamoah Gyan. But I mean, let's still stay with Legon Cities. Before the game, or prior to this game, was the announcement of new coach. That's Bashir Hayford. That's who you made mention, and he's a former Asante Kotoko coach. He coached Power FC, and he's coming to replace Graham Bartarovich. You think he's a good choice for Legon Cities?
Well, as I indicated last week on the show, that I wouldn't be surprised if within the next couple of hours the coach is gone, and it happened. It was long overdue, though. But the appointment of Coach Bash, nobody ever underestimates the credentials and pedigree of Coach Bashir Hayford when it comes to Ghana football, not just the Premier League. We all know he's one of the few coaches to have won the league with two different clubs. Yes, for journalistic stand of view, we will be happy because after matches he give us good fan vibes. But the thing is, yes, he's got his other sides that when things are not going well, he loves shifting blames onto players and referees and pitches. Practically, I think he's very good. And the kind of acquisition that Legon City did are the kind of players that Bash would love to work with. Early days yet, he's here to take charge of the squad. I think from Monday going, he'll start officially with the team. And he'll be able to bring out the best of Legon Cities because the kind of squad they have, they should be working shoulders with everything that comes to their foot. But that hasn't been the case, and it's really sad. They have the quality, and now they have experience when it comes to the technical aspect. So I see Lagos City flourishing, and I see Coach Bash making it happen.
Okay, now let's move on and talk about the match that we played this afternoon at the Dansman Karindorf Park. Liberty Professionals, they come up against Tichiman 11 Wonders. So it is Ignatius Osei who is going back to his former club to play against them. Oklu, now manager of Liberty Professionals, is also starting something new. Remember, they've lost some key players of Cheba for Mubarak, all have left the club, and they are now starting afresh. Looking at Tichiman 11 Wonders so far this season, having drawn with Asante Kotoko on match day 1 and at home to Obusuon Doves, beat them convincingly by 2-0. You fancy them getting a point at the Karindorf Park at the expense of Liberty Professionals?
Well, if you are able to get a good result against a club like Asante Kotoko, if you are able to outperform on the road against a club like Asante Kotoko, I don't see any impediment on your way in picking all 3 points against the likes of Obusuon Doves and then Liberty Professionals. Liberty Professionals, they haven't started the season so well.
2 draws from 2 games.
Yes, two points from 2 games doesn't speak well of Liberty Professionals, because the league that was truncated due to the COVID. They were on the ascendancy, but looking at how things are, yes, they've lost a couple of players, and they do use Smokeberry and Co. So it will take time for us to see the scientific side of the Liberty that we all know. But Ignatius Osei is gradually catching a name for himself when it comes to the Ghana Premier League. He did not just get 3 points against Obusuon Doves. He counts them actually, because they actually played a very good football. They play compact, they play fast, and they are super fit. And that's one of their secret weapons this season. They are super fit. Watching them against Masters and Kotoko, I asked myself, were they still training during the COVID period or the lockdown period? Because they performed creditably very well against Kotoko. So against Liberty Professionals at the Karindorf Park, a place that he knows very well, and a club that he knows very well because he rides through the club. I think it could be a very dicey game. I wouldn't look the 3 points beyond 11 Wonders, looking at how they are currently performing.
All right, we'll see how that will go. But let's briefly talk about the Interlice Accra Hearts of Oak game. Hearts started the campaign on Tuesday with a home game to Ashanti Gold. They drew 2-2. But of course, the signs were good, with the exception of a few hitches in their defensive setup. One will say that the Phobians can be very hopeful of this campaign as they go against Interlice. I don't know if you share same sentiments.
Well, their performance, their first game, that's game match with 2 against Asgard, brings a lot of joy going into this game against Interlice, because. But allies against Hearts have always been a source when you look at their past meetings. And then at the Accra Sports Stadium, that happens to be the main home ground for Accra Hearts of Oak, though they are playing away from. I think it will be of good help for Accra Hearts of Oak. And looking back at their game against Ashgold, we saw glimpses of what Odom is trying to put out there. Yes, second half, Accra Hearts of Oak should have buried the game. They missed less chances. And then looking at this Interlice side, that they've not been too stable defensively. I think it will be a 3 point free for Accra Hearts of Oak, but it will be a very, very dicey game.
Okay.
As we all know, this match it has seen more draws than wins for either side. Hearts has won 3 against Interlice 2 with 5 ending in stalemate beyond the days of Interlice playing at the park. I think Accra Hearts of Oak have enough quality to be able to turn Interlice at Accra Sports Stadium.
Okay, let's briefly wrap up on the league discussion, and then we'll look at the chance of Asante Kotoko and Ashanti Gold in the CAF Champions League as well as the Confederation Cup. So the Wafa Elmina Sharks game. Now Wafa have won one and lost one. So the first game was against King Faisal, which they won by 4 goals to 3. Went away and lost to Bichim United. They are back at home to the Elmina Sharks. Sharks themselves are yet to win a game this season, having drawn their opening 2 games. This should be very simple and easy for Wafa to make all 3 points.
It doesn't look like that, though, because Elmina Sharks and Wafa, they're giving Wafa a run for their money. You know, the Waterloo Sugar Coffee Park. Oh no, you go to Sugar Coffee, you don't come back as you went. But their last visit to Sugar Coffee Park ended with a narrow 1-0 win. But shifting to this season, I think the main problem with our champion this season has been his game management, because the first 2 games that they played, they not score 3 points in the final 10 minutes of the game, which is very, very sad. Their management has been poor. And I think that's one thing they need to work on. But we all know that our champion loves to play expansive football, just as the Wafa lads. They love to put the ball on the pitch and then pass around, move around, and then try to create openings, the same as the Wafa team. So it will be an interesting game to see how our champion will line up against this Wafa side. That they've also they've not started the season that well, because we saw loopholes in their team when they faced King Faisal, when they conceded 3 goals. So I think our champion must be licking his lips at the defense of Wafa, having the likes of the BBB, the triple B, Benjamin Boateng, and then Chineboa running the flanks and then through the middle. It will be a very interesting game, but it will be, whoever will win, it will be a narrow one, or it will be a story.
All right, James, so you hold on for me. Your brother Felix has joined in the conversation. Felix, a very good morning to you, and thanks so much for joining us. I asked, I asked James about, Accra Hearts of Oak, that after watching that game against Ashanti Gold, if you're a Phobian fan, you'll be very hopeful of what to come this season. Is that what you see?
Yes, of course, I see the same, because if you look at Hearts of Oak, whilst the other teams had already kicked off their match with 1 game, expecting the Hearts of Oak team that will be a bit victory. But I think that on the fitness level, I was very, very impressed. And even when, Hearts of Oak were leading 2-1, they were still pushing to score more goals. And I actually thought that was the reason why, they allowed Ashgold into the game. But I was impressed with the performance. This is a Ashgold team that, Hearts of Oak have beaten just once in their last 10 games. So it wasn't a surprising result, but I think that I was very, very impressed with the performance of the team. And individually, I can also say I was impressed with Patrick Lazar coming into the team. He wasn't with Hearts of Oak last season, but he's been impressive in the opening game, and I see good things coming from him. I think that for Daniel he needs to work on his finishing, because he created a lot of chances was created for him, and then messed them up. And I'm sure that Odum will also have to work on the defensive aspect of our game, because it has been our problem since last season. I was thinking that in the first opening game, at least, if we're even going for a draw, we shouldn't be conceding goals like that. But I think that against Ashgold, a lot of teams will suffer against them. A lot of teams will lose points against Ashgold. And for us to Oak, I think that I was very, very impressed. This is the season where I think we will do well, and hopefully maybe win the league title. It's been 11 years since we last won the league. And I'm praying that this season things will be good. Okay, so before we talk about Ashanti Gold, box these two for me, Felix. Legon Cities have brought in experienced Bashir Hayford, and Goran Baratarovich is gone. How do you see this playing out? And also, Techiman 11 won this. That's Ignatius Sosei going back to his former club, Liberty Professionals. You see him taking a point there by virtue of what they've been doing so far this season? Well, I think that for Legon City, it's a very, very good decision to bring in Bash, because you look at the type of players they have, you look at the experienced players they have. They are players with character, they are players with ego, and you need a manager like Bashir Hayford to manage them. I think that it is a good decision that they've got him, not just for Legon City, but for the league as well, because trust me, Bashir Hayford will give you sound bites. Bashir Hayford will give you those post-match, comments and and stuff that you want. I've had a personal experience with him. One game in Cape Coast, and I asked him a question. It was like, it was not us, so he fell into one farm move. So I have a personal experience with him, and I think that I'm very, very happy that
He's back.
experienced coach who has won 2 league titles already. He has coached Power FC to the Grand Drafts, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Bando House of Lions. So this is a coach who really knows the terrain and knows how to win the Ghana Premier League. And trust me, from the game that we witnessed yesterday, I think Legon City, I've been saying this, they have quality. They've fought very, very well.
Yeah.
And they a good manager to get the team, going. And I think that they've gotten one in Bashir Airport. Ignatius have said that they want to win the league, and clearly they want to make the Human a fortress. And you've seen from the 2 games that they've played.
Yeah.
He has a team that is playing to his instructions. He has a team that looks very, very specific, and they play very good football. And as a student of the game, a coach who hasn't played football himself,
Yeah.
has learned on the job. He has a lot of experience. Going back to Liberty, I think he knows the Liberty team better than any of the coaches in the league. He has worked with them, he has scouted for them, and I think that Liberty will have a game on their hands. But I expect that game to end in a draw. It will be very difficult for Liberty to win at Dansoma, especially when they are coming up against a coach who knows them very, very well.
Okay, so let's talk about Asante Kotoko Ashanti Gold. We'll start with the Porcupine Warriors, and they are in Mauritania to face FC Nouadhibou in their prelims of the CAF Champions League. I'll start with you, James. I mean, looking at Nouadhibou FC and Asante Kotoko, the pedigree of the 2 teams in respect to what they've done previously, do you think Kotoko stand a chance?
Well, Ben, they stand a chance because we all know Asante Kotoko when it comes to their qualification, especially their first game. But we can find that facing are no minors when it comes to football. When you look at their head, they have current form. They've not lost a game in 10 matches.
Yeah.
That's 9 wins, 1 draw. They've conceded 3 and scored a total of 10. Whereas Asante Kotoko, they've also they've lost just 1 game in 10 games, but with major draws.
Yeah.
But the issue is going to be whether Master Asante Kotoko will be able to score, because we all know in 10 games they scored just 3 goals, and that's where Maxwell Konebu's bane is. Goal scoring has been their issue. Yes, I know they brought in Osman from King Pfizer, but he's yet to catch the rhythm of how Maxwell Konebu play. But it will be a very dicey game against a very good side score for fun. They scored more than 10 goals in their last 10 games compared to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So it will be very difficult for Maxwell Konedu. The only player that we know won't be able to feature for them this season is their captain. But I think they have enough when it comes to the goalkeeping department. We have the likes of Kwame Ban, and then Razak
Danlad is there. Razak Abaloa also traveled with the team.
Yes. So I think Maxwell Konedu, that would be his only headache, whether to go with Razak Abaloa because of his rich and experience, or to go with Kwame Ban, who has vast experience when it comes to international games.
All right, Felix, 20 seconds. We don't have time. We have to take a break. 20 seconds. Where do you see this one going? Do Asante Kotoko stand any chance at all of getting a good result and then come and finish the tie here?
Well, I think Kumasi Kotoko, if they really want to make an impact in Africa, this is a game that they should not be losing. They need to at least score or not concede. And trust me, there is a different terrain this season because they won't be playing at their favorite Baba Sports Stadium.
Yeah.
So it means that getting good results away is a must for them if they really want to go far in this African competition. And I believe that, anything from Ghana should be competing at the top level. Yesterday, you saw a good game between Elali and Zamalek in the CAF Champions League. And I'm just hoping that it is time that Ghanaian clubs also go far so we can get good coefficient points. And then when the time comes, we have 2 teams representing Ghana in the Confederation Cup and then the Champions League as well.
Guys, always a pleasure speaking to you. Thanks so much this morning for joining on the program. So that was Felix Romack and James Soa. They are the Ghana Premier League working encyclopedia. They've given us all the analysis and everything. So if you're an investor there and you want to, invest in the Ghana Premier League, you know what to do after listening to these guys. We'll go for a very second commercial break. When we come back, we'll zoom into other matters here on the show. Don't go away. If you just tune in, this is Playmakers here on MX24. My name is Benedict. So gone by was a discussion with James Sowa and Felix Romack on the Ghana Premier League, as well as Kumasi Asante Kotoko's chances in their CAF Champions League preliminary game against Nouadhibou FC of Mauritania. Remember, the game should have been played yesterday, but it's been moved to Sunday. That's tomorrow. So by virtue of that, their game against Great Olympics now will happen on Wednesday. Another team also in Africa, that's Ashanti Gold. They are playing the CAF Confederation Cup and they are up against Burkina Faso side, that's Salitas, at the Obuasi Linkley Stadium. And the Ghana Premier League match day 3 started yesterday with one game at the Accra Stadium where Legon Cities drew goalless with Mediema SC Asamoah made his debut in that game, came on in the 71st minute, nutmeg. The best player for Mediema, that's Justice Blay. I've seen the video. That was a very beautiful video there by Asamoah. And then, so there will be no Asante Kotoko Great Olympics, but we'll have Wafa or Mina Sharks this afternoon at 3 p.m. will be Liberty Professionals, Tichima 11 Wonders at the Carindorf Park. And then Intala is will take on Accra Hartlepool later tonight at the Accra Sports Stadium. Ashanti Gold, Kim Faisal also postponed because of Ash Gold's engagement in Africa. And then Ebuson Dwarfs will be at the Cape Coast Stadium to play against Bukum Chelsea. Diana Stars, Bichim United, Karela will take on Dreams FC. So that's it for the Ghana Premier League. Let's now move to Europe. And of course, look at the English Premier League. Great games to look forward to. My guest star in the studio, Eustace Akwe, a regular, pundit on this show, as well as Nana Ama Ayeno. Guys, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you very much, Benedict.
It's been a difficult morning, but we are trying to make it happen. Well, my producer says we have to quickly go through the UEFA Champions League matches that were played. So Manchester United in a game against Istanbul, Bashar Heske ended 4-1 in favor of United, and then Bayern Munich beat Salzburg by 3-1. Inter Milan, Real Madrid. Madrid went away to win by 2-0. Liverpool were at home to Atalanta, a game that if Liverpool had won would have sealed qualification to the next stage of the UEFA Champions League, but that didn't happen as they lost by 2-0. But you have to also mention that they started the game with a much changed starting team for Liverpool, and those were some of the matches that were played. But let's quickly go to the English Premier League, and we'll start our discussion of with the Chelsea Tottenham Hotspur game, because that's the top liner this weekend. Both teams, if they win, will make a case for the top spots and their quest of winning this season's English Premier League. I'll start with you, Eustace. At this point, are Tottenham Hotspur genuine title contenders?
Yeah, Benedict, I believe so. I believe silently Tottenham Hotspur have built their way. They've had their players back. Yeah. It's Mourinho's first full season, and I mean, he's been consistent with his selections. He has the squad depth, and silently, I mean, without that, everybody had the attention, obviously, on Manchester City and Liverpool, but he's quietly built his way up to the top, and his home grounds have become a fortress, sort of. He's done what needs to be done. He's bolstered the squad. The introduction of Højbjerg, who's a regular starter, the likes of Sissoko, I mean, Kane and Gareth Bale. It looks like a very solid team he's built there. And genuinely, I think he knows he has a shot. Manchester City are off pace. They are not there. Liverpool are in trouble with players, injuries, and COVID infections and all that. But I think Mourinho would fancy his chances. He knows Chelsea look the only legitimate. He said in his comments during the week that, Chelsea have a fantastic squad. But we all know what he does with mind games. And we know he's one who would eye the prize. I know he will target the Premier League title, and he's going for it silently.
Now, I'll ask the same question. Do you see Tottenham Hotspur as genuine title contenders?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, considering how the league has turned out, it's highly unpredictable now. And it is obvious that Tottenham really is eyeing the title. I mean, bringing in Mourinho, he has turned the team to what fits him best, circling everything around Ndombele. And you can see the results so far. Pochettino's team wasn't, as dynamic as this. And though he says that he is taking in one match after the other, he really is strategically planning to win the league at the end of the day. And I think they can. Looking at the other contenders who are not really picking up the pace as much as Tottenham is. So, I mean, obviously except Chelsea and Liverpool, who might compete, as strongly as Tottenham. I think that, they are contenders.
And it's pretty much, he talked about the fact that, Chelsea have squad depth, and that's what Eustace mentioned. And also noted that, when you have one of the best goalkeepers in the team, as well as the most expensive goalkeeper in the world, Frank Lampard can call in on any of them. Let's take a listen to Jose Mourinho.
Maybe we don't go top of the league there. Maybe Liverpool gets a point or a victory at Brighton, and then we don't go there top of the league. So I don't even know that. But going there top of the league or going there with Liverpool top of the league doesn't change anything for us. And as I was saying, since the beginning of the season, we are only or always contenders to win the next match. Nothing more than that. So we are going to be there. 3 possible results. We are in football for a long time. We know, of course, that anything can happen. But we go there, and our objective.
So that was Jose Mourinho speaking there about their chances of, winning this season's English Premier League. He's ruled it out entirely, and he says they are contenders for the next game they play. And against a team like Chelsea, with what Lampard is trying to do, and it looks like gradually now they are gelling, because you watch some of their games, the grand results, and they play well as well. Do you think they have a chance against Spurs, Tuesdays?
Well, I think they have every chance to win this game because, first of all, it's at home. Even without the fans, it's still their home ground, the Stamford Bridge, and they will come out guns blazing. We all know the kind of quality they have going forward. But the introduction of Thiago Silva into the defense and Mendy, obviously, in the goalkeeping role, has solidified the leakages have come to a grinding halt, and their focus now is to Kante is so reliable in the middle, and I think Lampard usually still goes with Ziyech, Tammy, and then what's the guy's name? The front three. Timo.
Werner.
I think he's been consistent with that selection, and Olivier Giroud has been. There are players that are actually hungry to go out there for him. But then this is a match where it's a case of the apprentice against the master, because we all know the kind of tactical prowess.
We saw the heated argument between the two the last time.
Yes, the last time they met. Yeah. Jose Mourinho is a tactical master. We saw what he did against Man City. Yeah. You can take the ball home, play the whole game, and I'll just do what. Points. Yeah, it's about results for him. It's not about pretty football. It's not about. He's just a serial winner, and he will go out there to frustrate Chelsea. Believe me, I think Chelsea will control the game. But at the end of the day, I think it's the team with the mental grit and the tactical expertise is going to be won from the bench. But if you ask me, I think it's going to end in a stalemate. Liverpool might probably be the biggest winners over the weekend because this game looks like a very likely draw for me. I don't think Jose. If he doesn't win it, he's not going to lose the game. Yeah. That's basically how I think he will be set up. But you look at the complements of the two teams, and the battle is going to lie in the engine room. The midfield is going to be key. Chelsea play with 3 men in there. Jose is probably going to set up with a 5. So they might get overrun in the midfield, but like I said, the tactical adaptability depends on how Frank Lampard is going to read the game. The in-game formation changes will be very, very key, because Jose Mourinho is not a manager you can give 1 inch. I mean, he will just get a goal, and that's the end of the game. It doesn't matter if it's the 20th minute. But it's going to be a very, very cagey one, very fiercely 4-4. And I still think that Mourinho would not lose the game. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll hear from Frank Lampard, but before we do that, Nanama, you're a Chelsea fan, but I expect you to be objective. I mean, with everything at your disposal, you think that Chelsea can get a win, or you take a look at what happened in a game involving Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City, and you say, yes, they are building a team and they are on the ascendancy, and then it will be very difficult to beat them?
Yes, it is likely that either side will walk away with 3 points. But
So you, in the first place, you don't believe we'll end the stalemate?
it can end in a score draw, in my
Okay.
opinion. I don't think it will be a goalless draw. That's what I think. Mourinho's team is really tough to crack, especially the defense line. And considering how they play, and Chelsea can be a bit sluggish in terms of defense, and they might be able to take the advantage from there. But considering the pace of the players, the physicality of Tottenham might give them an upper hand. That is what I believe. And I think that for Tammy should come from the bench rather than starting this game and give Giroud the chance to battle out, you know, and that would possibly give Chelsea a head start. But I agree with
Eustace,
and I think it might end in a score draw, or the margin for Chelsea to win might just be a difference of 1 goal.
You know, Jose Mourinho was Frank Lampard's manager at Chelsea, and then now Lampard becomes a manager. I mean, looking at these two, Narama, do you think Lampard have anything ahead of Jose in terms of management of players?
Oh yes, you can see when you see the Chelsea players, you see them as a unit. They have this friendliness among them. They have been able to build a team performance consistently over the past few games. And looking at how they're able to pick up from maybe 2 goals down, 3 goals down, I think Chelsea is going to they're going to battle this out. They're not going to leave it for the master to take all. It's not going to be that easy.
So there's a message here. This one is from Mike from Cape Coast, and he says, I think Tottenham and Chelsea will be a draw. Okay, so you are actually listening and watching the program. As Eustace and Nanama I have alluded to that. Mendy will be on fire since the defense will be sluggish. And Mike from Cape Coast. You can also send yours to our WhatsApp line, which is on your screen. Eustace, so I'm struggling, but we will do it. We have to move on. I mean, away from... Okay, I said we were going to listen to Frank Lampard, so let's take a listen to Frank Lampard and then we'll continue.
Chelsea-Tottenham is extra special anyway because of the rivalry between the two teams. I played in the fixture many a time. And the fact that we're in good form and towards the top end of the table adds spice, you know. So it's obviously positions that we want to be in. We're all fighting for those kind of positions. So I think it's a game that remains special for those reasons. But in the league positions, of course, all eyes will be drawn to it. I understand Jose's answer, and that's a position we should be in because the marker has been set by Liverpool and Manchester City in the last 2 or 3 seasons. We're early on in the season, really, in terms of games, so we shouldn't get carried away with our teams. It's good that we're competing high up, but there's such a long way to go.
So that's Chelsea manager Frank Lampard speaking there, and his body language and everything shows someone who is very confident, you know, going into a game against a Tottenham Hotspur side that have also been doing very well.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, Chelsea have been on the run. I mean, when they were playing a bit naively in the beginning, it was just a collection of players, but within a short time, I think we should give credit to Frank. He's been able to gel the team. The chemistry is there. They are very fluid in transitions. I mean, he will stand a chance against any team, any good team in this world. So I mean, going up against Jose is a different. He's worked with the manager. He knows very well that Jose Mourinho is not a man to give up. He's a fighter. He's a serial winner. He wants to win every single game, every single minute. So it's going to be a battle. He knows it. I mean, they've had a war of words before. And I think even though he respects Jose Mourinho, he's going to go out there and give his all. But he will have to be tactically very, very astute. You understand?
Yeah, I agree with
Eustace.
Sorry. So yes, as Chelsea has scored 22 goals in the Premier League so far, and that is cut across about 6 to 7 players.
Yeah.
And so Jose is going to be very attentive. He's going to make sure that his back line is preventing any sort of lapses. When you look at Tottenham, they have 21 goals scored, and 15 of them is shared between Kane and Son. So if Chelsea is able to block out these 2 players, which is likely, I don't see Tottenham progressing so much as they have in other games. So yes, Chelsea might have the upper hand when it comes to.
Let's not forget that Tottenham Hotspur are the only team not to trail at halftime.
Yeah.
If they can maintain that statistic, and by halftime they are still in it. You see, it's about Son and Kane.
Yeah.
They possess so much quality. And I believe Chelsea are going to have the ball. They are going to dominate the play. And Spurs will most likely hit on the counter-attack. So about Kane and Son, they just need a moment. They just need a moment. It's really hard to mark somebody when you are controlling the game. They just hit you in the counter-attack. 2-3 passes, they're in your box. It's been their tactic all season. You know, it's just result-oriented. But
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very exciting game to watch for the neutrals. I mean, some of us, the United fans and all, I mean, we are just going to enjoy how it goes and worry about our team later.
All right, so talk of Manchester United. They're also in action against Southampton later. And this message, of course, I'm sure, is coming from a Manchester United fan. He says, I'm designer from Tichiman. Please, can you analyze Martial and Dembele? Osman Dembele. Oh, Charlie, you should. We will do that for you. Eustace will do that for you. Okay, so now we can briefly, or let's go for a last commercial break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the other matches, and Eustace Octopus will help the investors out there as to where to, place your money. Don't go away. We are into the final lap of the show here on MX24. I'm Benedict Owusu, and I'm wishing Kotoko good luck. I know Chelsea will destroy Tottenham Hotspur. This one is coming from Jonah from Introtroso. And then this one says, yes, I agree with Nanama. Lampard should go with Giroud as a focal point so that the wingers can pounce on second balls. Justice watching from Takrade. And we also have another one. Chelsea will win the game. Amos watching us all the way from Liberia. Thanks so much. And this one says Chelsea is going to win by 2-0. It's coming from John from Zope. Okay, so that one also from John. We have a special birthday shout, but that will be done when we are about wrapping up the show. Eustace, quickly take us through the matches, the English Premier League, and where it's all going to stand. Well, the first game, this match day, happened yesterday at the Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace lost 2-0 to Newcastle United. All goals coming at the dying minutes of the game. But the early kickoff today is the Brighton-Liverpool game. Where's the one going?
Yeah, Liverpool have a good opportunity. They know their closest rivals. I mean, they don't have to dominate. They don't have to score 5, 6, whatever. They just need to get the 3 points. Yeah. Very difficult for them because they are away. Brighton need the points badly. They are going to resist. They are going to set up very difficult to be broken down. But Liverpool to win this one.
Liverpool to win
3
this
points.
one. So 3 points for Liverpool, just straight win.
Yes, just a straight.
Nanama, if you're an investor, would you go for Liverpool straight win or possibly look something else?
I think Lallana and Welbeck have gained some confidence coming from their previous game, and so they might want to prove something. But without Tariq Lamptey, I think they might not be able to find that attacking force. So I agree with. So
it's a Liverpool straight win. And Manchester City, Burnley, is this?
I think Manchester City, their fans, they owe the club. They've started so poorly, and it can't be any worse than this. Manchester City will come out guns blazing. I mean, Burnley, we know Burnley, long balls here and there, physicality. But Pep will have to, he has no choice. He has to come out and win this comprehensive league. It cannot be like the midweek game in the Champions League where they were so sloppy, wasteful. I don't know whether the Aguero factor, it's hunting about. Gabriel Jesus should be able to feed off the midfield. The supply is good enough when Kevin De Bruyne plays. Manchester City to win both halves on that game.
All right, Calvin Lewin will lead Everton at home at the Goodison Park as they come up against Leeds United, a team that should have beaten Arsenal in their last game.
You know, the last time I was here, I predicted a draw on that game because I knew the
chances that came along.
Yes, Leeds should have buried them. But Arteta was just comfortable not to lose, especially with the red card. Yeah. And Calvin Lewin is on form. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti has found a way to the key for that Everton team is James Rodriguez. And then the way he creates moves into space. He's always going to find that factor. And Everton had a little bump along the way. They are home in this game, and Leeds are a bit naive at the back. Consider so many. 17 goals already. Patrick Bamford scoring and then shipping in their goals at the other end. very, very difficult for them because Leeds ran the most. They've covered the most distance, played the
draw
most
win.
shots. They give 110% to the manager. Bielsa has done a fantastic job. It's going to be a very exciting match to watch for the neutrals. But Carlo is home, and I expect him to grind, with the kind of experience he has, I expect him to grind out probably a 1-0 victory. Everton to take that one.
Okay, and finally, Arsenal with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Who wins this one?
It's going to be a tight one, but I think I'm going to give it to Wolves. Because Arsenal has not been able to score. I think they've scored only...
The Arsenal fans out there
No,
will
they
not be
haven't
happy
scored a
with
goal in the last 4 games.
Yeah.
And Wolves, at least they have been drawing.
Yeah.
And they are in a better form
than Arsenal.
than
so
Arsenal
you think that
is. So
Wolves
I
will win
think-
this one?
Yes, definitely.
It's not about the form guide when it comes to matches like this. Arteta is trying to build something, as everybody's been saying. But I think the statistics actually show that Emery has a better
At
winning
this
ratio
stage,
at this stage
exactly.
than him.
Than Arteta.
But we can see the brand of football. Arteta doesn't like to concede. I mean, he respects opposition, and Wolves are going to. I'm very interested. It's going to be a very intriguing game.
Yeah.
That's one. But I think it should end in a draw.
Okay, so
Another draw.
Additionally, Arsenal, they are missing out on key players. Pepe is out on red card.
is Pepe a key player for you at Arsenal?
I think he is. Does he not create good
Well,
chances?
Okay, well, on the basis of
And
the fact
Partey is
that
also
he
not
was-
available.
Achiever. I mean,
Yes,
but let's give him some time still.
club record fee, so maybe that's the reason
Nicolas
why.
Pepe will come good.
Yeah.
Let's give him some time.
Well,
Yeah,
we see.
so Partey is also not available. I think Willian is not as fit. And so they might find some challenges in creating
And
chances.
Aubameyang too has been very flat.
So I think I'm going to go for
All right,
Wolves
okay,
win.
so let's read some of the messages and then we can call it a show here. I've already read this one. This one says, my name is Eddie, inside Liberia. Liverpool will win by 3-0. This one keeps typing. It says, Liverpool will win the game. Amos Amwa from Liberia. Hey, today we have a lot of people watching us in Liberia. Hello, Liberia. I hope everything is fine there. Chelsea is going to win because the past 56 games played, Chelsea have won 30, draw 19, and they've lost 7. This one is from Payao, watching live from Samra Boy. Okay, thank you. And this one says, I'm a Pari from La Paz, Akwiteman. Chelsea will win Tottenham by 2-0. Trust me. Okay, we are trusting you. Thanks so much for that. Oh, yes, there's a birthday shout out here. Let me quickly do this one before I forget. And this one is coming from Kwapia. Kwapia is watching the show. That's Samuel Apia. It says, belated happy birthday to Esther Boateng of Kanishi Polyclinic. May God bless her and see her through in everything. I pray for strength and blessings. This one from Samuel Apia to Esther Boateng of Kanishi Polyclinic. So, Esther Boateng, if you are watching the show, a happy belated birthday coming from Samuel Apia. We call him Kwapia. All right, so I think that'll be it. But before we go, you know, the biggest sports news this week was the passing of Diego Armando Maradona. For some of us that didn't grow up to watch him and we only saw videos and read about him, I'm sure it's same for all of us here. Eustace, I don't know if you watched him.
But we really did follow his stories.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
You didn't watch
the
him.
80s. The 80s was closer to our generation.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, we had the chance. Unlike Pele's time, we had the chance to view him on a much more consistent basis. But fantastic, he was a legend, absolute legend.
He won the World Cup. I mean, the World Cup was won after some of us were born, so we cannot talk much about that in 1986. But the number, of course, if I didn't see Maradona,
I mean, I've
then-
heard a lot from my dad. He won't stop talking
Oh,
about
okay.
86 World Cup.
Okay, so Nanama's dad has been telling her about Diego Armando Maradona. For some of us, it's just the research and the videos that we've seen that have been telling us a lot about what the man did with God of the hand of God, and a whole lot. You know, the story. I was actually watching a video of him on the BBC, an interview with Gary Lineker, who played in that game involving Argentina and England, and then Shelton, who was the goalkeeper, as well as the referee. He was an African from Tunisia, and in 2015, Maradona actually went to Tunisia and presented a jersey to the referee, and the referee talked so much about Maradona, how he couldn't have prevented that as a legitimate goal because of what Maradona had done. Took the ball from the halfway line, dribbled 3 defenders, and at a point he was watching keenly just to see if they were going to foul him. And when Maradona got into the penalty area and that ball bounced off Boucher, who was the defender of England, there was no way he wasn't going to allow the hand of God goal to stand. So it's just unfortunate. He's also gone at age 60, and you saw that video. On that sad note, we end the show. It's been tough for some of us here in the studio, but we've been able to go through. I'm sure next week by this time, I'll be strong and we'll be able to deliver for you as always. But I know I've been able to do my part. Thanks so much to Nanama, and the Eustace Akwe, and to all the guys in there, Joseph Agbogli, and then all the guys in the house, the camera crew. Thanks so much. We are back same time next week, another exciting edition of the program. Benedict Osu, bye-bye.